What's up? What's up? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. A warm hello and a sincere thank you. Thank you for hanging out and thank you for spending a little bit of time here with me. It's Friday. It's 2/7. Is it Friday? It's Friday. It's February 7th, 2025. I'm, of course, Big Cheds from Twitter. I think that's where most of you know me from. I've been doing content on Twitter since 2014, actually. I started out as a Japanese candlestick expert. I think the people kind of look to me as the candlestick guy, and then I really beefed up on my classical charting. I did CMT, and now I teach professional technical analysis for free. I try to make it the complicated and academic. I try to make it more simple for you, and I try to be helpful. I have a huge library of learning material on my YouTube. Start with the Masterclass playlist. I'm planning for a new playlist. A new Masterclass this year. That takes a lot of time and preparation. I published 3 books: Trading Wisdom, My Battles with Cancer, and Trading Quotes. Both the Cancer Memoir and Trading Wisdom have a free version. I have a new book coming out this year, Trading Wisdom Part 2, The Trading Journal. So with my new book coming out, I'm going to record probably my whole Trading Quotes book for free and put that here on YouTube. So I want to have a lot of free content for you folks. So you can look forward to that. This is part of the quick market update series. Of course, I'm going to look at Bitcoin. We'll do Ethereum. We'll do Solana. And then I'll kind of bounce around. I'll check in with the chat room and see how you folks are doing. And hopefully we'll create some good content, some educational content. I do, if you're looking for more, or if I didn't cover what you wanted, I do a twice a week full market analysis, Wednesday night, Sunday night, at Bitcoin Live, along with the best team in the world that studies crypto. And I've been doing this for more than 6 years. No matter what, I do that. So consider checking that out if you're looking for more. But like I said, I try to just do like a ton of free stuff. Most of what I do is free. So check out YouTube, hit me up on Twitter or whatever. And while you're here, especially if you're new in the chat, or if you're new in the channel, say hi. Let me know in the chat room how you found the channel, how you're doing. And folks, give me a question too, ideally like a good trading question. I see there's a nice group already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Bitcoin, Ethereum, Sol a little bit, and then I'll jump in back in the chat room. I don't know how long, maybe be a longer stream today, maybe not. We'll just kind of let it flow and see how things are going. So folks, thanks for hanging out here, of course. Thank you again. So what do we think here? Bitcoin 98.5. Somebody had asked me on Twitter and said, Cheds, where are you? We need you, And I'm like, look, there's nothing going on. I was kind of quiet the last few days, and there's really no change in trend, nothing going on. I'm seeing a lot of people assuming things. I'm seeing a lot of people predicting things, but I think we got to reset it, right? Where's the price now? 98.5, a little bit of volatility, the last few hours. We're starting to maybe try to break out, rejoin the trend, but it's just chop here in between well-established range lows and the overhead level. And so if we go on the weekly chart, we reset things. If you're ever not sure, you want to go outside in. And remember, if you're trading on the 1 hour chart, right, you're understanding what's going on within the 4 hour and the daily trend. You know where the price is in the weekly trend, because there's the whole idea that you have a trend within a trend, and you have minor corrections within a larger move, and trends will tend to continue. And so you want to understand what the trend is. Look at this weekly trend. It's gorgeous. The price is at the weekly EMA8, exponential moving average 8 period. That means there's 8 candles, and it gives the most price weighting to the most recent candle. I go over all my moving averages. I go over how I view the market, classical charting, candlestick theory, on the playlist, the Masterclass playlist. So the weekly chart broke out of the 72, the peak of the 72K range and accelerated and paused, and we've been consolidating, and we're still holding the weekly EMA8, the primary uptrend support. So people predicting the top, or maybe they're right, maybe they're not. They're just guessing. There's no real evidence of a sustained top. And I'll get to the chat room in a minute, folks. I want to riff here just for a moment. So beautiful trend in the weekly, and we see every time that bulls have been challenged, right? Every time bulls have been challenged, they've stepped in and they've defended support. Saw an interesting tweet from someone who's really good in equities, but I think he just doesn't get crypto. And talking about a failed move, turn into a fast move likely to 83 or perhaps 70K. And here's what I said. Why ignore support before it's broken? I don't understand people. How can you just assume this support will break? Look how well this has been defended. This is a really well-defined, it's support in an uptrend. You should be giving bulls the edge until proven otherwise. And I think a lot of people are making this mistake of just trying to guess tops, trying to over-anticipate tops. So what do we have now? All right. We have some changes from my last update here, right? And of course, I did Bitcoin Live on Wednesday, and I went over there. And then, but I had actually talked about it on my update here Tuesday. Remember, I'm doing a YouTube with you folks on Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. I talked about the fact that the right shoulder, failed, the failed right shoulder circa 99.5, price has been chopping through it, and it's not really a good level to use anymore as a mid-channel or even an overhead trigger, right? And it's one of those things where I want to make a point real quick. If you have a level that's really well respected by the price, it's interacting, and let's say it breaks out, and okay, great, and you come back to do a throwback, and instead of respecting it, now it's just chopping through this level. It's not worth really watching anymore because the price is no longer respecting the level. You need to be fluid with your analysis. You need to listen to the price, and you need to adjust. And so we have a mid-channel level, 99.5, that the price isn't really respecting, okay? I promise I'll get to the question. Someone asked, why do you use the EMA 8? Don't ask me, ask the price. The price uses the EMA 8, not me. I go over this in the Masterclass webinar. It's a Fibonacci number. A lot of people use 8, 21, and 34 for EMA. I don't use the 21 EMA. It would make no sense because I already have the middle Bollinger MA20. But in any case, the mid-channel support has been disrespected. There's really no well-defined level in the middle of this range. So what we have is on a weekly chart, we have a beautiful move out of the prior range. We have well-established range lows. You're definitely buying every dip to that level. And then you've got a decent overhead level forming right around 107, 107.25. Okay. And in the middle of the channel, we're now chopping around. If you want to have fun trading the middle of the channel and getting chopped out, go for it. Have fun. Good luck. There's really no well-defined trade in this range. Okay. Now I'm going to go to Ethereum. I'll check out Solana, and then I will do the chart request. What a deep drop on the weekly time frame. Let's do a weekly look as well. Potential for inverted head and shoulders continuation. Right shoulder violation, deep drop back to the most important level in the chart, the peak of the ascending triangle that broke out. I know I covered this on my YouTubes. I just started doing YouTube again since in November, doing it regularly. But before that, I really was only doing it for the Bitcoin Live sales, and I definitely talked about it then. But that's just a key level, right? You see where the price responded, deep drop, right shoulder violation, but it held where you really needed it to on a higher time frame, 2150. But there's definitely some stalled momentum from that. You don't want to continue to be violating the MA20. We're back 200. We're back up above it. It is still technically an uptrend on the weekly chart, price above the rising 200. But it's been weak compared to Bitcoin, and you've been better off riding Bitcoin. And I think people are wanting to see a bottom in this. Here's some volume. Okay, good. Yes, Cheds. Hey, Cheds, you've taught me that the most volume comes in the top and the bottom of a chart. So therefore, there's volume here in Ethereum versus Bitcoin. So it's the bottom. We'll see. We will see. You need to start to recapture lost support. Ethereum has a lot of work to do to reclaim its lack of strength versus Bitcoin. Solana held right where it needs to hold. Confluence, MA200, 185, prior peak, where the price has responded now multiple times. December, January, and most recently here in February. So long as it holds 185, I think you have a very asymmetric bullish bet. Should the price fail to hold in the 180 to 185 range, I think you want to pare back your risk a little bit and reassess. That's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. I'm going to take a look at the chat room. Again, folks, it's just me. There's no moderator. So if I missed your message, I'm sorry. I know there's some great questions. Give me some more. I want to hear trading questions. Altcoin requests are fine, but I want to hear good trading questions. So let me read the room and say hi to people. What's up, Brian, Marco, Cliff? Good to see you, Cliff. Z-Zone, nice to see you. Mountain Boss Hog, Marchuan, as always, and Gilbert and TT. So what's up, everybody? Thank you for hanging out here. So let's see. Let me scroll through and look for some good questions, and we'll try to create some content. I'm only on my second coffee. Usually I have 4 by the time you hear my voice. So let's see. Hello from Lagos. Hello from Holland. Great. So, okay, you asked for CRV. I mean, that chart is off the menu now. CRV unable to hold at 75 cents. I have, removed it from my coverage of Bitcoin Live, and I put out a tweet telling people to pretty much get rid of it, avoid it, risk off, below 75 cents. So you're not touching this thing. You should be out of your position. You should not be holding this, until it can get back up above 70, 75. You have a big time failed reversal in the weekly time frame. Real potential now to continue with the trend. The weekly MA200. This is big time risk off. Probably going lower. I would definitely avoid it. I would not be in this chart. You should not be in the chart. I talked about the fact this was seen way ahead of time that if it fails here, you got to get out. So you shouldn't be in this one. It's a bad chart. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have going on here? So Mountain says, hey, Chef, or hey, Cheds, can Bitcoin market go down to 75K? I mean, can it? I mean, sure, it can. But you got to break support first, and bulls have stepped in. Look at how strong this trend is. Look at the slope of the MA200. It's a beautiful trend right now. You have price in an uptrend, nice price distance to the MA200, so it's a strong trend. There's acceleration, and you have support. So I don't understand. You can't overlook support, and that was the point I made here with this gentleman. People are really reading into what they want to happen, or they don't have exposure. Or I think a lot of it, maybe not this guy, is people have programmed to think that Bitcoin tops off. So then altcoins, and they've just been riding bad charts. And yes, there's been a lot of blood, but for the last 12 months, there's been a lot of great altcoin movement, beautiful trades. What is a coin that basically died? Oh, WIF. WIF is a coin that basically died, and what is your opinion on it? My opinion on it is if it died, ignore it. I mean, we are watching for a potential, which one is history? Kraken, I think. We're waiting for, potential bounce off the trough or the low of the double bottom, and that failed. So I would just throw this one in the trash, delete it from the watch list. I mean, you don't touch anything like this. I mean, the measured move. So I tweeted this out. Roughly, the measured move from the failed, from the breakdown M top is somewhere around 35 cents, and it has some support here. It's just a bad chart. This is a terrible, terrible, terrible chart. The only reason to watch something like this is to take a short if it bounces. If this bounces to this range, maybe that would be a setup. But what my opinion is, this is just a terrible chart. It's one of those hype coins. People were into it. You should well be out of this. You should well be out of this. They tried to bounce it with the fake news in the sphere, whatever. You just follow it on the chart. And here you had a couple underside retests. Right here. Very nice little shorts. If you're just playing short, you did really well. Lost support, bounced into it. Called a pullback, underside retest. WIF's terrible. I mean, why are we talking about WIF? This garbage chart. Super, super garbage. Aave or Ondo? Okay, sure. Let's take a look at Ondo. And folks, look, I'm going to be honest with you here. I'm honest everywhere. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you something to make you feel good. I want to just give you a good, clean look. I say the same thing at Bitcoin Live every time I do a request. Yeah, Ondo looks pretty good. It's grinding higher with the MA200. I don't know that you can do much in this range. It's funny. It's funny to me. I think I saw 10 people requesting Ondo. It may be several in the chat, but this isn't that good. It's not that good a chart. I mean, it's pretty good, but I would have expected this to have already broken, 165 range based on the enthusiasm I saw in the comments. Matt says, I would like a classical charting book recommendation. Definitely. So the Shawbacker's classical charting textbook, stock charts, technical analysis, and stock It's still early morning. By Shawbacker. It's the Bible technical analysis. Look up my tweet on textbooks. I have a whole list of recommendations, but technical analysis and stock market profits by Richard Shawbacker. You want to check that out. You want to check out for sure. Peter Brand has a really good book, his Diary of a Commodities Trader. He does a lot of classical charting in there. And I actually break it down a lot in my Trading Wisdom book. And I've got a free version of that here on YouTube. But my book is very heavy on classical charting as well, because that's just what guides me. So total altcoin market cap chart. I mean, sure, but what is the real point in that? We're not trading this, but I'll take a look at it. You want to just see what we think about this. 3.8 trillion. Okay. It's trending up. This isn't something you're charting. You want to draw a double top. You want, and say, okay, if it breaks down here, it's fine, but you're not buying and selling this. It's not necessarily a traded instrument. It really actually kind of looks like Bitcoin. I mean, this looks exactly like Bitcoin, right? Here's the move up. Here's the peak of the 72K range. Sweep low, breakdown, recover, just like Bitcoin had around 54, 55K. And then the move up. So this would be 107K, and this would be 91K. This is the exact same chart as Bitcoin. So what real value, am I getting on this? I don't know. This basically looks 1-to-1. Look at this. Look at this chart. Look at this, the same chart. So I don't know. I don't know that was that valuable to look at the total chart there. Big Cheds, Amik says you're really big. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. I got to work on my ego. I think my ego is a problem, and I'm aware of it. But, that is that. Let's see. So I covered total. Good morning, Caleb. What's up, Cheddar Talos? Good to see you. Don says, can you see why OM is strong? So this is a good point. I actually don't care why. Like the whole thing of why never really comes to my mind, right? I don't care why things are strong. The market has their own reason. Look at this beautiful moves. 4-hour pinch, 4-hour pinch, 4-hour pinch. I almost tweeted it out, but I don't want to jinx myself. This thing is just grinded higher. 4-hour pinch, 4-hour pinch. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful chart. Why is it so strong? Why would I care? I think people spend way too much time trying to explain moves. And you see legacy media doing this. Bitcoin rises on this news, or Bitcoin falls on this news. No, that may or may not have anything to do with it. We don't need to explain why the price is moving with a trend. When you already have a trend, like you have here, how do I know there's a trend? MA200 is rising sharply. There is an imbalance in supply and demand. There's more buyers than sellers, right? So for it to continue with the trend, do we need to explain that? We don't, okay? There's no reason. Maybe with a reversal you want to explain it, but you don't even need, there's no point in explaining the moves. You don't need reasons. The market's going to sort it out. So I reject the need for trying to explain every move. What's your process for trade execution? It kind of depends. If it's something that I have been watching and waiting. So for example, let's take like Bitcoin on the most recent drop to 91K. You definitely could have been very logically waiting for another test. What you want to do in the rule in classical charting, and what I do, is I don't necessarily wait for like candle closes because I'm at the computer all day, but you drop to a lower time frame when the price is at a key level. And I'll look for some structure. So let's say I'm watching the daily, price drops to the key daily range. I'm going to drop to maybe the 1 hour or the 4 hour and look for some structure. I'll look for maybe a spring, which is a false breakdown and a recapture. I'll look for some minor resistance to form and then break, and I'll use that for a long trigger, or I might even just trigger, maybe scale into my position. I'll start to take some exposure and add to it, or remove that exposure depending on what the price does. But the TLDR is I'm dropping to a low time frame when the price is at a key level. My execution when I'm trading, I'm only trading charts that I watch closely. Now I watch the market closely because it's my job. I trade it, I teach it. But for you should have a much smaller watch list, maybe 10 or 15 plays, and you're trading off of that list. And there's volatility, ideally, price interaction with key level. We had a price drop here quickly to support, which is a beautiful setup. You don't want to slow bleed to support. You want a rapid price drop. We had it. It was a beautiful setup. So essentially, my execution is I'm trading from an instrument that I've been watching, that I study, that I know, and I'm dropping to low time frame. I'm executing. I'm managing my risk at that level. So there's a great point. Stopot is a great question. What is your thought on? Great questions today, folks, and thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And by the way, leave a comment. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I've got a lot of great stuff coming this year, a couple interviews. Stobot says, what are your thoughts on strong support being touched many times? Gets weaker or proves it's strong? It's actually, it's kind of both. So there's a couple things in classical charting. The more times a level is tested, the more likely it is to break. But at the same point in time, the more important it is. So even if this keeps getting tested, you buy it, and if and when until it fails, because it's support until proven otherwise. So it's more important, but it's more likely to fail. All right. Which is why if this level breaks, there's no pausing. I saw my buddy Will Clemente put out, if this fails, I'm buying at 85. Like, you don't want to buy at 85 if this fails. Like, if 90 to 91K fails, we're going to 72K, 73K. Like, that's like a 90% likely in my view. You don't want to, because of how important this level is, you don't want to mess around here in the middle. It's just it's gonna bleed down to this level. So this is an incredibly important level. It's a great question. The more times it's tested, the more important it is, and the more likely it is to fail. So it's those two. Both of those things are true, right? Great question. Let me just look around in the chat room and see what else you folks have on your mind. I know I need more coffee. Cheds, Crypto Boy Ken says, Creds is the only daily time frame use the 200 EMA. I don't use the 200 EMA. That makes no sense. And some people do that. And again, it sounds like you have not watched the Masterclass playlist. So 200 is an MA, an SMA, a simple moving average. It makes no sense to use an EMA at this high a number, right? The whole point of an exponential moving averages, they'll kind of bend towards the price. They're more sensitive, they're more reactive to the price, which is why you use them for short-term movement, primary uptrend support like we are here in the weekly, okay? Longer-term moving average, simple moving average. So you can use an EMA for an 8, you can use it for 21, 34, which is secondary uptrend support. Maybe even 50, but for me, 34 is the highest I'll go for EMA. I like 50 simple, and I like 200 simple. I want it to be a bigger deal when the price tags a longer-term moving average, like a 50 or a 200. If I make my 50 and my 200 EMAs, they're more likely to interact with the price, and it makes it less powerful signal. It makes it less impactful, less important of an observation. So you should not be using 200 EMA. It's just not, in my view, it just doesn't make any sense intuitively. EMAs are for short-term price action, okay? SMA, simple moving average, is 50 and 200. And even the 20 is by default SMA because it's the middle Bollinger Band, created by Mr. John Bollinger. He's got a great book too, Bollinger and Bollinger Bands. All right, folks, let's see. Maybe we'll do a couple more. There's been a very nice stream here. You know what? I'm going to do a stream tomorrow, folks, at probably 3 o'clock Eastern. So that's the deal. This is part of the Quick Market Update series on YouTube. I really recommend you enjoy my free content. I published 3 books. I got a 4th book, The Trading Journal. I'm super proud of it. It's coming out this year. So I'm going to do a free version of Trading Quotes. I have 2 long-form interviews coming up. You definitely know at least one of those people, so that should be fun. Free version of my book, free version of Trading Wisdom. If you're looking for more analysis, I didn't cover your coin. You want just more in-depth analysis, Bitcoin Live twice a week, every Wednesday, Sunday night. I can skip YouTube. I will skip YouTube, but I will never skip Bitcoin Live. Consider checking that out. And I hope everybody's doing well out there. I really appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me on a Friday. Leave me a like, leave me a comment. Please consider subscribing. If I did not get to your question, I will try to get to it on the next stream tomorrow, or just try to find me on Twitter. I'll do my best. But folks, thank you so much. I really appreciate you folks hanging out here with me. It's been a lot of fun. And I will talk to you soon. All right. Big Cheds out. Peace out, everybody. Thank you.